What's up, YouTube? So I'm going to be going over the matchups that I had. There were 8 rounds at the Madison Tennessee Regional, and I'm going to be talking about what I played against, what I won against, what I lost against, and why I lost. So round 1 I played Fire Kings, and I'm really mad at myself because I derped out and I lost to them because I wasn't trying. As soon as I saw Fire Kings, I thought, this guy's a scrub. He's playing a really cheap jank deck that there's no way he's gonna be able to compete against my deck, and I still believe that had I played better, but I just didn't really try against him. And so he ended up, the way he killed me in the final game was he went Circle of the Fire Kings on Garunix, got another Garunix back, did 5,400 damage in 1 turn, and there's nothing else I could do. I also misplayed against him by when he got out Garunix with Onslaught, and I forgot that. So I special summoned Trag on his turn. Next turn, special summons Garunix, pops my Trag, and kind of messes up my play. I had other plays, but that was really dumb of me. So that hurt. I think that is actually what lost me that one game, because I just wasn't thinking. I should have waited next turn until he attacked, get out Trag, and then if he had Circle then, it might be a little different, but I think I still would have been able to stall for a turn. So lost round 1 to Fire Kings. Yes, I'm a scrub. Round 2, I played Machina Gadgets, and I won game 1, lost game 2, and won game 3. He was a pretty good Machina player. Seemed like I always had Max C or Herald on him right when I needed it though, which was pretty nice. Let's see, round 3 I played a Dark World player. He actually 2-0'd me. I know you guys are gonna be like, you can't say this, it's not possible, but yeah, he was an excellent Dark World player. He didn't play Card Destruction on me once. He didn't play Morphing Jar. All he played were Dark World Dealings, Gates, Grapha, and Snow. I mean, pretty much that's all he did. And he was smart enough to get out on the field exactly what he needed right when he needed it. So if you end up watching this video, man, good game, good game. Round 4 was something that I would call remove from play lockdown. It was such a jank deck. It ran stuff like, it had Macrocosmos, Vanity's Emptiness, and then he also ran what is that trap? Imperial Custom. Yeah, Imperial Custom, and just a few other things. But he ran Banisher of the Radiance, so it was all about banishing your opponent's cards and keeping them from special summoning. But it just wasn't. I opened too well against him both games. But first turn, I actually apologized to the guy for beating him because I didn't even have to play both games. First turn, he sets 4 back row. I start my turn. I have Heavy Storm first turn. Okay, I'm like, well, that's not gonna happen again. So game 2, draw my 6 card. Heavy Storm. I'm like, I looked up, I looked at my cards, I looked up, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but I drew into Heavy Storm, MST, and Malevolent Catastrophe because I had sided that against him. I had sided a second MST, so I actually drew into 2 of the cards I sided, which hardly ever happens, just to make sure he couldn't chain Imperial Custom to protect his cards from Heavy Storm. He already had Macrocosmos on the field and Vanity's Emptiness, so I just blind MST'd one of his 2 cards, hoping it would be Imperial Custom and then a Heavy Storm, and there's really nothing he could do. He was just like, good game, man. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I ended up playing 2 more games against him after that, and I still beat him. So I think he just didn't have that great of a deck. Round 5, I played another Machina Gadgets deck Thankfully, I had Max C one game, but didn't have another game, and was really, really ticked off because one of the guys that I think came from like the Lexington meta or something like that, whose name shall not be named. He finished his match, and he was still sitting to my right, watching me play. He looks over at my hand and he goes, "Oh, you don't have Herald of Orange Light? My friend always has Herald of Orange Light against me." And I just gave, I mean, I looked over. I gave him the look of death. I was like, thanks for telling him what I had. And I told a few of my other friends, they were like, dude, I would have totally cussed him out. Like, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to get all pissy like that over a card game. It did make me mad. It really made me mad, but I kept my cool. And, you know, I wasn't an a-hole about it to him, and I didn't treat him like an a-hole after that. Like, I was still talking to him all friendly and everything, so don't hate him. It was just annoying when it happened, pretty much. But the round 5, I won the first game, lost the second one, won the third. Then round 6 was Evil Swarm. I lost game 1. He got an Ophion, and I thought that he had only 2 cards in hand. And I was too quick on the draw. That's what I noticed the most when I was at the regional is I was too quick to make my plays instead of thinking about them before I did it, and that caused me to misplay. I went Herald of Orange Light when he tried to get Infestation Pandemic to his hand to kill Ophion, and I figured, you know, if I keep Ophion off the field, I can get out Hyperion, I can do other stuff I need to do, but it wasn't enough. And by negging myself 2 cards, I mean, that was at the wrong moment. That was not good. So I lost game 1, but I won game 2 and 3. And I believe game 3 I ended very well. I had, I'm trying to remember, I believe I ended up with Hyperion, Christia, Venus, Levier, and Jupiter on the field. And this guy was rule sharking me like crazy. He was just so particular about what he was doing. I got out Leviathan Dragon, I believe the game before that, because I had to. There was nothing else that could get over what he had. And I had forgotten to detach for cost before battle phase. I was just like, battle phase, and I was like, detach for Leviathan, and he goes, no. He said, you already said battle phase. He was like, sorry. And I just looked at him, and I was like, okay. And so I put the cost for my grave back underneath Leviathan Dragon. He goes, I could have called you a judge on you for that. And I was like, okay, man. He's like, we're all playing for our invite to Nats, so blah blah. He's like, don't get mad about it. I was like, okay. Like, thinking I wouldn't have been a dick to you like that, but it's cool. Like, at the end of that match, I tried to shake his hand, and he didn't even shake my hand. And I said, good game. He didn't say good game. He was like so mad. I'm like, get over it, dude. Play better. He played horribly. He's playing probably like a tier 1.5 deck and playing them horribly. He was not playing them that well. Good example. I had Thunder King Ryo on the field because I don't want him adding, Infestation Pandemic to the hand or anything like that. He normal summons Caster, normal summons Heliotrope. Heliotrope's 1950. Thunder King's only 1900, so he could have attacked right over that and then exceeded. No, he was, I don't know if he's ignorant of what Thunder King can do, I don't know, but he goes to exceed for Ophion, and I was like, tribute to negate, and he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, negate that summon? And he picks up my Thunder King, reads it, and he's like, mother. I was like, yeah, you just really scrubbed out, man. Round 7, I played Final Countdown, and I couldn't draw a Herald of Orange Light against him like I needed to, which was making me so angry. And in my side deck, I didn't have Mind Drains because I didn't own them at the time. That would have really hurt him, and Royal Decrees would have hurt him like crazy. I know game 2, had I had a Herald in hand, I could have killed him that turn, because he would have tried to do Battle Fader or possibly Swiss Scarecrow, and I would have been like, Herald, attack goes through, he only had 1500 life points, you know, that's game. But I couldn't draw it. I drew Herald against almost every other deck but that one. So I was really annoyed too, because my side deck was prepared for meta. It wasn't prepared for jank crap decks, pretty much. But I have to give him credit too. He was a nice guy, and although it was a jank deck that I did not want to have to play against, he played it well. I would almost say he played it perfectly. And it was like, both games, I had one time I had 2 Hyperion on the field, Venus, Giga Brilliant, and like one other card, but like I had, the whole field was completely full. I actually tributed 2 monsters for Gores just so I could use Hyperion's effect, you know, banish and pop, because I figured I'm going to attack, I'm going to bait out the threatening roar and then pop the rest of the stuff. But he had it was like cards for hope or something like that. Whichever one were like, for every 2,000 life points difference between you and your opponent, you get to draw a card. He was getting to draw like 5 and 6 cards at a time off of that. It was absolutely ridiculous, but he won, so a good game. And then round 8, my opponent didn't show up. I guess he dropped, and it kind of sucked because I really did want to play, but so all in all, I went 5 and 3. I believe I should have went 5 and 2 had I actually tried against the Fire Kings. Still kicking myself for that. But so please, if you like this video, rate, comment, share, and subscribe.